Hello, my name is John Rosebush. This will be the 11th video that I produced on powering the planet. It's critical that the leaders of the United Nations and the scientists from around the world come together in order to save mankind from himself. You know, I've talked about a lot of things in the previous videos, but essentially what's critical is that we come together. We come together as a planet, as mankind, in order to save ourselves. You know, we actually do only have between 50 and 100 years of oil remaining. I've covered it in previous videos. It really doesn't make any difference. We've survived on this planet for thousands of years. It'd be nice if we could survive on this planet for tens of thousands of years, maybe hundreds of thousands of years, maybe permanently forever. In order to do that, we know carbon resources are important, especially oil. About 30% of the products in the United States are made from oil. Those are products that make a modern society possible. Plastics, I've covered them in previous videos. You know that. You know, there's been issues about my credibility. I'm 58 years old. I haven't asked anybody for a penny. I must either be the dumbest sham artist in the world or what I have to say is real. And it actually can power this planet many, many times over. So far, the responses I've got from GE, Siemens, etc., is this guy really don't have anything, or perpetual energy, or whatever it is. I'm an educated man, and I would not be taking it this far if I didn't have something that was real. And I am pretty smart, and I have worked in like a think tank environment my entire life. The only thing I did was I applied that what I've learned about being in a think tank for 25 years, working for a major integrated oil company. And I'll say who it is in this video because I want you to be aware it was a major company. It was Marathon Oil Company. And so what I did was I applied those techniques to figuring out how to power this planet. I looked at thousands of ways to power this planet. I actually worked on it based on science. And you know, I work construction. I have a construction background. So it's not like it was out of my element to do what I did. Now, this actually works. And so, you know, what I'm asking the United Nations and the leaders of the world and people around the world is to have a leap of faith. And what that faith is it's about the survival of mankind. It's about the ability to power this planet with clean, eco-friendly, alternative energy. The only thing they have to lose, if I am wrong, is to boot me out of the United Nations. But if I am correct, and it has the ability, it's essential the whole world comes together. We need to save these oil resources for the future of mankind. It's essential. You know, there's too many products that we would have to replace without oil. And, you know, let's look at the reserves of the world. And the reason why I want to look at them is look at the Middle East. The Middle East is raised their estimates on their reserves just because they decided to, not because of any science or anything else. We cannot trust the reserves in the Middle East, and that is the bulk of our oil in this world. You know, this little find that we found in North Dakota and South Dakota, the shale, you know, it's not that much oil. And on top of it, you're destroying this planet with continuing to burn these fossil fuels. It just don't make any sense. Now, I'm not asking for a penny. If you think about it, all the scam artists are the people that don't have a solution and coming to you for money for research. I'm not. I don't need the money. You know, over the last couple months, I've worked on this new energy invention, and I've done what I'm trying to get the scientists to do. I've perfected it a lot more. Completely, I've made it so easy to implement in this world versus the way it was even a couple months ago. I've been continuing to work on it. I mean, it's been my whole 50s. It's been my passion because it really is about the survival of mankind. You know, let's look at the future projects. Well, before we do that, let's talk about where we're at today, okay? 86% of the planet is powered by fossil fuels, okay? 66% of the electricity is. Now, the windmills that we've been installing, these megawatt windmills, are only 20% effective. That's it. And it will never be able to power our planet. It might be able to assist a little bit here and there, but one day here soon, we're going to run out of oil. Or at least have oil shortages, if nothing else for logistics. So we're going to start having issues in this world. And besides climate change, the powering the planet is going to become the major issue. We all know this. At least the scientists should. And I don't know why they're not stepping up. It does not make any sense. They know that this is about mankind. And I'm so far baffled by this. It's hard to even talk about. You know, the shallow thinking of our scientists in this world, and GE and Siemens and China. I'm not picking on GE. It's the world leaders. It's the scientists. It's supposed to be the environmentalists. It's shallow thinking. The idea that they're worried about creating 4 gigawatts of power. I actually can create a terawatt of power in one location. A terawatt. That's enough almost to power the United States and China, and I can do it in 50 to 100 places. So this shallow thinking that, oh my gosh, how can this guy come up with an invention and everybody else hasn't? Well, guess what? I didn't do it on purpose. It happened. And I'm trying to bring it to the world in such a way that helps everybody on the planet. You know, like I've said in previous videos, if half the world is off oil and the other half isn't, it still doesn't do our mankind any good. It has to be a world effort. We have to get off these carbon fuels. And if we don't, it's doomsday for this world. Now, I don't know who's believing me or who's not believing me, but what I'm saying is the honest truth, and the scientists know this. And we keep taking these little minor steps like as if we have all the time in the world. We don't. You know, just think 10,000 years from now, and we don't have any oil, and these products go away, and we can't find good replacements, then what do? You know, we are really acting like we're the last generation on this planet. This planet, people want to survive. And, you know, it's going to take years and years and years to find alternatives for a lot of these things. You know, air travel is going to take some time. And, you know, even all these products, we got to replace them one at a time. It's going to take some serious time. It just doesn't happen. You know, people keep talking about, well, we'll just find a way when we get there. Well, it doesn't make any sense. If you don't listen to me and we don't come together, you're going to be, the world is, our grandkids are going to go, what in the heck is going on? Why did not, if they exist at all? You know, I've talked about nuclear war. Well, I'm telling you what, it is such a possibility, and the world leaders know this. When people get desperate, you don't know what they're going to do. And I'm trying to stop all that. And I know I'm just one individual, but I need help. I need help. And the United Nations needs to come together. And their scientists need to watch this video and understand that I am so real you would not believe it. I've never thought about shamming anybody in my life. I'm just not that type of person. And I mentioned the company I work for. They will tell you that I am the best out-of-the-box thinker that maybe that company's ever had. I did all kinds of projects that were just people. It took me months to explain to people. I know there were IT projects, and someone say, "Well, he knows about IT, but you know, how can he come up with an energy invention?" You know what? When you work in a think box, you have to throw out all the things that you think you know and start over. And you know, they didn't realize I have a huge construction background. I worked construction since I was 9 years old with my dad, and I used very good common sense. So what I did was I applied it, and I come up with an invention that works like you will not believe. I honestly believe this thing will create 500 to 1,000 terawatts of power. And you know, the normal people doesn't understand how much power that is, but the United States uses a little over 1 terawatt of power. So we are talking a huge, we're talking about anything in the world becomes possible. Anything. Now, it only does cover 80% of the planet like I talked about. And you'll see why if I can get the people out of their shell. And even the oil countries need to understand you're going to run out of oil. And the only thing you're doing is setting the world up for total destruction by continuing to increase your reserves and make people think. Make people think in this world that we have lots and lots of time, like as if we can just be casual about all of it. That's not true. Now, You know, let's look at what you've got going on. And really, it doesn't make any difference because there is not something out there that can power this planet right now. But, you know, we can break things down. Wind and solar create so little energy, and I keep hearing this thing about solar, like photosynthesis is going to really create a huge amount of energy. It does not. And nuclear, we know the nuclear waste is completely a horrible thing for this world, and so that's what we get from nuclear. And you know, the ocean current technology does have some promise in certain parts of the world. Geothermal does. I mean, but they will never be able to power this world. Now we have ICF programs, and I've talked about them in a previous video. You know, the ICF programs, they're having major issues, and someday in the future, we might just get lucky enough to where we can get that to work. But right now, it creates an unstable environment, and it totally, we haven't even really never been able to create more power than we've put into one of them yet. Now, I know they're using magnetics, and they're using mirrors, and they're trying to do things differently, and there is some promise there. But it surely isn't going to be in time to power this planet. And biofuels don't make any sense at all because the world is going to get hungry, and it's going to need food, and we cannot grow food for energy. I don't care if it's switchgrass or seaweed or sugar cane. Doesn't make any sense. And then we have places like all South America and Africa. They're chasing gold. Now, you know, I know we put a big value on gold, but actually, what the heck? They're tearing up their country. They're cutting down the forest for a little bit of gold because we put some perceived value on it. You know, and even these projects that say everybody will power themselves. Now, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Just like I said in another video, in the middle of the winter, and the neighbor's got a generator and you don't, the first thing you say is, we're going over to the neighbor's house. Well, anybody that thinks they're going to create power and their neighbors don't have it, and boy, they just got so lucky because they created power, the neighbors will take it. And that includes countries, to towns, to you name it. So the idea that we're going to isolate ourselves and do this is insane. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And by the way, even these house fuel cells that they're talking about, business fuel cells, they're run by natural gas. So right now, these carbon fuel cells, they're using natural gas. And the only reason that they're using these things is because it's cheaper to create electricity through a fuel cell and natural gas than you can buy electricity for. That's because of the low price of natural gas, but natural gas is fossil fuel and it's going to run out. So, you know, this is just like gold. It's worth a lot. Well, you think that house fossil fuels were burnt by using one fossil fuel resource over another is cheaper because you can create it cheaper. So, but that's phony. That's because of the value we're putting on it. That's the only reason. So all this research and all these things that these companies are doing doesn't make sense. You know, I told you I could create energy for 10 cents in the dollar. I believe I can because of the size of the footprint that this energy invention takes. You know, within a 3-mile square radius, I believe I can create a terawatt of power. Now, that's huge, and that doesn't mean I'm trying to build buildings that are 5,000, 10,000 feet high. I'm talking about just normal size structure. 1 terawatt of power. Now, that's huge. Now, we would not implement that way, and I've talked about that in previous videos. Okay? We would implement it in smaller chunks around the country for distribution purposes, for backup purposes, yet one site can back itself up because you don't have to shut down the entire site. You can shut down little pieces of it. You know, we could create grids in this country that would completely circle cities, have backups, have multiple places where electricity would come into it. We could put hydrogen backup storage facilities all around our major cities. And guess what? If the power went out, those hydrogen backup storage facilities can then generate power, and this thing could make a country even the size of the United States so safe when it comes to powering everything. And you know, even our gas stations, we could create compressed air and hydrogen station instead of a gasoline station. We could power vehicles. We could have electric charging station at home because we generate so much electricity. Desalination plants around the world. And, you know, it doesn't take much more to create something that creates, to install one of these size inventions on an implementation site to create 50 gigawatts than it does to create 5 gigawatts. Okay? So that's how powerful this thing is. And, you know, for people that don't believe me, who am I trying to sham? Nobody. GE, the scientists from China, the scientists from Siemens, scientists from the Department of Energy need to wake up. Need to wake up. I'm not trying to sham anybody. It would be the dumbest thing I could ever do, and I would never, ever dream of taking something this far unless what I had was real. And this ain't no perpetual energy. This is real energy. And I don't know why the shallow thinking of, oh, this guy can't do that. I'm an educated man just like your people that work for you are. I'm a very educated man. And I have a construction background, which makes me kind of unique. It kind of fits me in with engineers, but I'm not. And I don't have the high math skills, but I have enough math skills to compute how many watts of power this thing can create. So, you know, if you're either going to wake up or you're going to continue down this path that you're on. Look at what China and India are doing with air pollution. This does not make any sense, but you're not going to get this for free. I will not give this to the world for free. I'm not trying to get a whole bunch of money for me. I'm trying to make sure that the world helps one another. Of all things, I want China and India, United States and Europe to help South America, to help Africa, to help all the poor countries and places where this thing cannot be installed. I expect it help to go to those people, so that way everybody has cheap and abundant energy around the world. That's a pretty good thing to ask for. You know, everybody thinks the United States so big and everything. Pakistan has almost as many people as we do, and they're a very poor country. Okay, so Pakistan has the ability, and I want to use it as an example because they are poor, to create 3 or 4 terawatts power. That's 3 or 4 times the amount of energy the United States produces for their people. For their people. You know, people are going to react different if they have hope and they have possibilities. This world could become so dynamic, and you know what? It would start to eliminate all these wars. I honestly believe if people had a future and had hope, wars would come to an end. All around the world, we could actually be helping one another. And this Bain Capital playing one labor against another labor in another country, you know what? You people need to just plain downright go away. Because, you know what? The world can no longer afford to have the little greed that you're doing, your little marble palace where you just play one country against the other. You know, the United States had that within state against state. But now you're playing this out on the world stage. And you know what? The world is destroying itself because of it. It does not make any sense. The race to the top must be eliminated. You know, the other thing is this thing's going to completely destroy monetary policy around the world. Because I'm going to create energy for 10 cents on a dollar. Period. And you know what I'm trying to do? Get the world to understand that. The whole world. Because, you know what? Otherwise, this thing could be grabbed up and exploited. You know, people keep talking to me about, why aren't you just patent this technology and make a bunch of money? This is not like creating some little widget. I haven't created a widget and trying to sell it with other competitors. I've created something that can completely save mankind, power this entire planet, and change the life on this whole planet. Actually allow this planet to continue to survive for tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years, because we won't use up all our resources. We're actually going to create energy through clean alternative energy without using up resources. Just imagine, no footprint at all. None. Well, there'll be some footprint because we're going to need some steel and some different things to update our grids, but those are pretty long lasting, and we'll have to just recycle the steel so we can keep fixing those things. But you know, we'll have plastics for years, for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. We're not going to wear out in the next 70 years because we burn it all up, creating some energy that we don't need to burn up those fossil fuels. It just don't make any sense. It's the dumbest thing. It's a small-minded thinking. It's shallow. And I hear these all companies talking about energy independence. Energy independence for the next 40 years, and then all of a sudden destruction of mankind. Now, you talk about shallow. This is shallow. I mean, it's just totally shallow thinking. We're not thinking about future generations. We're not thinking about the future of mankind. You know, GE has a little saying, you know, we bring good things to life. Well, right now, you're not stepping up to the plate. So maybe you need to change your name. Maybe it's GE doesn't bring good things to life, because this does bring mankind to a future that he'll be able to continue for tens of thousands of years. So GE, change your model, or either that, or quit being scared of all your little business relationships that you have. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is about the survival of mankind. And when this thing does go public, people are going to wonder about you. You'll probably get to play a role in this because you're so rich, you know. But Jeff Endell, and this is directed directly at you. You can't be very smart if you think I'm trying to sham somebody. And your advisors need to get a clue. Now, maybe you think I'm here competing with you with business. I'm not. I'm an individual that has come up with a way to power this planet in order to save mankind for our kids and grandkids. And I'm trying to make sure this thing gets implemented in such a way as to help poor people, poor countries, and elevate a middle class around this world, which is what made this United States strong, and it will make the world strong. You know, and I'm tired of the non-respect for hard work. This is going to create hard work. This isn't going to find some oil somewhere, and not that all people ain't hard workers. I worked in an oil company for 25 years. But you know what? This is about hard work around the world. And this is about elevating people, and all these poor countries. You people need to come together to the United Nations and say, look, we need this. And all the people that are oil importers, like China, like United States, like India, and so many countries around the world, this will be what saves you, what creates energy without having to import these fossil fuels. You know, I can't be much more clear than what I'm being here. People need to wake up. Wake up. Wake up. We're allowing greed to destroy this world. Now, it's pretty simple to determine if I'm, you know, if I have something, or if I'm lying, or if I tell the truth, or what. The only thing I need is United Nations to come together and sign an agreement to help one another. My God, that's not asking you to kill one another. You know, we're talking about now bombing Syria, and we're spying on the world. The United States ain't no better than anybody, any other country. We're bombing people in other countries, but they're also wanting to kill us. This is all crazy. This is all crazy. You know, I know there's always been conflicts with mankind, but I want to see mankind survive. And I would like to see mankind come together to actually help one another. The only thing I've seen about the World Organization is playing one country against another with cost of labor, etc., and with taking your resources from you. You know, South America, you're cutting our trees down, you're selling to us for 10 cents a dollar. And the United States dollar is just perceived value. Hell, we're broke, 17 trillion in debt. But you keep sending us your trees. You keep tearing your country up for some gold that the world has decided to place a value on it. You know, all those trees that you sent us, you could have actually built a whole bunch of beautiful homes down there. And Brazil, you're now, you know, you've been farming for fuel, and now you find oil off your coast. You could make some asphalt out of some of that crude and help your people. And my God, South America could look pretty beautiful. But instead, we're all trying to make sure the United States is in good shape. You're sending us your trees. Now we're taking your crude oil. We thank you. But you know what? It's not helping this world. And it's surely not helping the United States. And Mexico, you've brought all your labor up here to help us. My God, you've worked at nothing, and now we want to send your people back home. And you're farming so good, and you keep sending us your farm products. Oh boy, ain't that good? And then your people are poor. Doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. You know, the whole world needs to wake up. I'm not trying to talk about people being isolationists, but I'm talking about people helping one another. Helping one another. Helping countries be extremely prosperous. Not competing for the race to the top, but actually assistance to help the world become a better place. And we can take this world and we can create such a world that every single person in every single country had hope, no longer wanted to kill one another, and wanting to make a better life for their children and grandchildren, because that's what the normal people want in the world, all around the world. Now, I'm going to end this video, but I need the United Nations to watch this video, and the leaders of the world and the scientists, and come together and actually let's put together a world project that makes sense, that can help the world. Let's get off these fossil fuels. Let's save oil for products for hundreds, if not thousands of years in the future for mankind. And let's create a world worth living in. I thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you.